Northwestern begins the 2013 season riding the momentum of the program's first bowl win since 1949. Head coach Pat Fitzgerald returns a squad full of talent and experience, one that is poised to make a run at the Legends Division title.
Coulter floats it down the left side, going for Benrick Mark. Fingertip grab, touchdown Northwestern!
Senior dual-threat quarterback Kane Coulter is back after scoring 20 combined touchdowns running and throwing in 2012. Coulter figures to share some time with junior Trevor Siemian, who gives Mick McCall's offense an added dimension. Both quarterbacks will have the luxury of giving the ball to electric running back Benrick Mark, who ran for over 1,300 yards last season and scored 12 touchdowns.
To the 40, 30, 20, and Benrick Mark is going all the way. Touchdown, Northwestern.
On the flank, 5 different Wildcats return who had at least 20 catches a season ago, including junior Christian Jones. Defensively, the purple and white will lean on the Big Ten's co-leader in sacks a year ago, Tyler Scott, to apply pressure up front, while ball-hawking linebacker Chiji Araguzzo and defensive backs Ibrahim Campbell and Nick Van Hoos all possess big playability that could lead to plenty of victories in Evanston. Head coach Bill O'Brien is primed for his second season in Happy Valley after earning Big Ten Coach of the Year honors in 2012 while leading the Nittany Lions to 8 victories in their final 10 games.
The kick is on its way. The kick is no good. And the Nittany Lions on senior day get the win they deserve.
With quarterback Matt McGloin lost to graduation, transfer Tyler Ferguson and incoming freshman Christian Hackenberg will battle for the right to run Bill O'Brien's dynamic offense, one that returns plenty of firepower.
McGloin looking for Robinson, leaping up for it, and Robinson's got the touchdown.
Big Ten Wide Receiver of the Year Allen Robinson headlines a growing number of talented pass catchers in Happy Valley. The Nittany Lions also possess one of the deepest crops of tight ends in the nation, with Kyle Carter leading the way. On the ground, Zach Zwinak returns after posting a 1,000-yard season last year.
Zwinak, left side, lowers the shoulder, touchdown, Penn State!
While junior Bill Belton and redshirt freshman Akia Lynch provide depth and big playability. On the other side of the ball, new defensive coordinator John Butler will call the shots for a young attacking group headlined by Big Ten Freshman of the Year defensive end Deion Barnes. Penn State also boasts an emerging secondary, and while Michael Maudie and Gerald Hodges have moved on to the NFL, the tradition at linebacker U continues with Glenn Carson and Mike Hull, as the Nittany Lions hope the winning ways of O'Brien's first season extend into season number 2. The winning ways in Wisconsin continue as the Badgers enter the 2013 season having won 3 straight Big Ten titles. New head coach Gary Andersen hopes to lead Wisconsin back to Indy and Pasadena in his first season on the sidelines. Gone to graduation is record-breaking running back Monte Ball, but the Badgers' ground game figures to be stout nonetheless, thanks to senior James White and sophomore Melvin Gordon.
He's gone! 20, 10, 5, touchdown Wisconsin! Melvin Gordon!
Andersen also has multiple options under center, as both sophomore Joel Stave and senior Kurt Phillips, both of whom started games in 2012, will battle for the starting job. Whichever Badger quarterback moves under center, he'll be throwing to receivers with a nose for the end zone in senior wideout Jared Abradaris and reigning Big Ten tight end of the year, Jacob Pedersen.
Stave looking back the other way. Wide open is Pedersen. He'll walk in for 6.
The Badgers return plenty of depth in their front 7, highlighted by senior defensive tackle Bo Allen and tackling machines at linebacker Chris Borland and Ethan Armstrong. If a young secondary can meet the challenge, Coach Andersen and the Badgers could be smelling roses once again.
Pleased to welcome Bill O'Brien, Pat Fitzgerald, and Gary Andersen to the stage. Coach, let's start with you. New to the league this year, we welcome you. Give us a sense of what Badger fans should expect.
Well, first of all, I would say that the first semester when you take a job is a lot like a honeymoon, if you will. You're
getting to know each other. Everybody's got their little quirks. You like some things, you don't like some things, you figure it all out. But as the kids in the world today say, it's about to get real, and that's where we're at. We're coming into that environment. We're excited about it. The kids have done a great job handling the transition. I'm proud of them. Can't wait to, not to be disrespectful, but to get in the car and drive about 4 hours home with construction, get to Madison, and let's get this thing rolling.
Pat?
Well, there's been great momentum since we walked out of Jacksonville, and a great celebration for our football program, winning the TaxSlayer.com Gator Bowl, and a lot of work has transpired. Like all the other teams, we're kind of wrapping up the third phase of our offseason and getting ready for training camp. And we've got a terrific group of seniors that have seen a really raising of the bar each year that they've been a part of our program. We've had terrific staff continuity. You know, Mick and Hank will come back for the 6th year as our coordinators, and done a terrific job along with Jerry Brown of our leadership team of our staff. And as I look to the young men that we have coming back in our locker room, I believe they embody what's great about Big Ten football and about intercollegiate athletics at this level. They represent our program the right way academically on our campus, obviously athletically to compete at a high level and hopefully take that next step now for these 12 seniors. And, you know, just to watch the way that they carry themselves, I'm very proud of them. So we've got a lot of work to do here as we get ready in camp. We've got some holes to fill from some great graduating seniors, but like everyone, we're excited to get back together and start off here a couple weeks from Saturday.
Bill?
Well, first of all, I have an unbelievable honeymoon story. I'll share that with you later on, Gary.
I look forward to
that.
that.
What happened on your honeymoon, but my wife's going to kill me. But no, we're excited, Dave. You know, we 1 year makes a big difference. I think Urban was saying that when he was up here. You know, the kids, they understand the pace of practice. They understand what we expect out of them every single day. And we've got fantastic kids. We've got resilient kids. We've got physically tough guys. We've got mentally tough guys. And we've got a good, cohesive staff. So we're really excited to start training camp.
Well, Coach, I'll start with you, Gary. You have a team that, as we talked about in the video, has seen incredible success here over the last few years. It's kind of unusual to take over a program that has done that well. As you look at this program moving forward, how similar should we expect it to be to what we have seen schematically? Because they're kind of known for, look, this is a team that's going to run the ball, they're going to play hard-nosed defense. How similar should we expect it to be?
Well, I think it'll be very similar as far as the mindset of we want to run the football. We want to be a power run team. We do want to throw the football. You know, we want to get the ball to Jared. We need to find a receiver that can complement him. We have some very good tight ends, and we're going to use them within the offensive scheme. But you know, we want to be powerful, physical. This league is built that way. You throw on the tape, and in the trenches on both sides of the football, from Team A all the way down to the end of the deal. They're very physical, great technique. It matters to them. So you have to have a toughness in this league if you're going to win, and you can expect to see that within the Wisconsin football team to continue. But I also would say that we want to be a team on the offensive side of the ball that you know, can create big plays and have some young men in our program that can take a play and, you know, catch a hitch and go 80. You got to do that sometimes.
Pat, you know, it seems like every year, whether it's at this event or whether when we're at Camp Kenosha, Jerry and Howard and myself, we're talking about, hey, is this the year Northwestern breaks through and wins the bowl game? You won the bowl game. How does that change your program?
It gives great confidence to the young men in the locker room that you can achieve that goal that you set out at the beginning part of the season. It was a challenge, no question. Last year playing 3 BCS non-conference opponents, coming back again this year. You know, to have that type of challenge, to go to Cal, come home and play Syracuse will be, you know, very challenging before we even talk about playing Big Ten football. But those types of wins are a great catalyst to confidence. It gives evidence to them that through that sacrifice and hard work that it's going to pay off at the end. Saw great improvement from our team a year ago. We were very young. To see the way that we finished the last month of the season, you know, go play a road game against an SEC team in the bowl game, so to speak, in Jacksonville, in a great environment was a great celebration for our entire football program. But our young men have raised the bar. They've raised the expectations. It's not just about going to bowl games anymore. It's about winning and then, you know, competing for championships. But that's the same talk that all of us as coaches have with our young men in our locker rooms and in our team rooms here in a couple of weeks as we set our goals for the season. It's about time to start acting upon that, and I think that's why everyone in this room is excited for the start of the season.
Talk about the conversations of a year ago, Bill. I mean, you think back to this event last year, the sanctions had just been handed down against this Penn State program. I mean, the question was, how are you going to hold this thing together? And not only did you hold it together, you had an absolutely remarkable season. You won just about every Coach of the Year award there is out there. Now that you've gotten through kind of this initial thrust of the sanctions here, and now you kind of start dealing with year two, where do you feel like your program is?
Well, yeah, last year's banquet wasn't the most fun. Nothing against the banquet was great, but it was a tough time for us. But we've come a long way in a year. We have, like I've said a million times, we have a great commitment from our kids. There's a lot of respect between the coaches and the kids, and the coaches among each other, and we feel really good about where we are. Is it going to be easy? No, but at the end of the day, that's what life's about. Life's about challenges and adversity, and if the 2012 team taught us anything, it taught us about how to overcome adversity and what you do when things out of your control happen. And hopefully our team this year can learn the lessons of that team and continue to improve. And we're just, like I've said, we're excited to get going here and start training camp.
Going from the general to the specific here, the quarterback battle is a really interesting one. We were talking about it in the video. You have a junior college transfer in Tyler Ferguson, and then you have Christian Hackenberg, a very highly decorated incoming freshman. How do you envision kind of starting down this road? How is this going to play out to the point where you make your decision?
Well, we're very excited. Personally, I'm very excited to coach two young quarterbacks. It's very unique when you get a chance to mold two guys that are basically freshmen. Tyler had 1 year at junior college, and then obviously Christian just arrived a month ago at our summer bridge program. So we're looking forward to the challenge of that. We'll split the reps with those guys, but again, we're going to have to make a decision about halfway through training camp, and so that we allow that starter to have enough reps to prepare himself for the Syracuse game. So Syracuse is a very tough opener for us. So again, we're excited about it, but we're going to have to make some decisions here pretty quickly in training camp.
Pat, you talked about the success of last year, capped off by the Gator Bowl. You won 10 games for just the third time in school history. It wouldn't be a surprise, I think, when the preseason polls come out to see Northwestern somewhere in that top 25. How does it change when the expectations are higher?
Well, the expectations internally far outweigh the expectations externally. I mean, when you look inward and you look at where we have moved as a football program, we still haven't put championship trophies in our case yet, and those are the goals that all Big Ten teams have when you start off the season and as you embark on the journey. And you start back over in January. This is a new team. It's a new opportunity with a new group of leaders, and we've got a lot of work to do to improve. I thought a season ago that's what that team embraced, the improvement process that we had to go through to really put ourselves in position to compete on a week-by-week basis, and then get to November and hopefully compete for a championship. You don't start back over at ground zero, but you really fundamentally want to reteach exactly what it means to be a part of your program, how you go about your daily routine, and then how you put the pieces together from what you may have lost from graduation, injury, or what may happen throughout the whole course of the offseason. We've all been kind of away from our players now since we've wrapped up the school year. It's kind of like a bunch of people waiting for Christmas. We get to see how hard they've worked. They've been with our strength coaches throughout the summer, and then we've got to organize in a couple of weeks exactly how those new pieces come together. But the external expectations, I think, for any of our teams are far, far away from the internal expectations that we all have, and to live up to those, I think, are the standards that will make all of our programs proud and unique.
Gary, you were talking a little bit about your offensive approach and how you do want to emphasize throwing the ball while still maintaining that strong running attack. You have a lot of different options at quarterback. How do you envision, kind of along the lines of what I asked Bill, how do you envision going from this point to the point where you actually make a decision?
Well, first of all, we have three young men. We walked out of camp, and Joel and Kurt did a great job. They competed at a high level. There was 5 quarterbacks at that point. We basically got it down to 2 of those young men. We recruited Tanner. Tanner is very similar. He's a 1-year junior college player who still has 3 years left to play. So we'll have 3 young men compete. We'll take our time. We will not put any timelines on it at all, and we may jog out there and run a trick play with 2 quarterbacks the first play and have somebody throw it that they don't think is going to throw the ball. So we'll see. But we're going to be patient. Yeah, we'll name a starter. Hopefully, when he does jog out there on the field, and I don't think you need to. Our kids will know. People that are close to our program will have a good idea if they watch practice who the starter is, I'm sure. But we'll be patient. There's 3 quality young men, and competition in a program at every position is so healthy and so important if you're going to be a great team. And we're fortunate to have that at quarterback, just like we do at many other positions.
Gary Andersen, Pat Fitzgerald, Bill O'Brien, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, Coach. Great to meet you. All right, good to see you, Fitz. All right, Bill, we'll see you soon.